Marie suffered from motor neurone and passed away. For me, Blake, Marie and Headwall, it's just a triangle of love. The tragedy is that only a couple of months later, Blake was riding down at Maruya and had a horrific fall, and he passed away twice in the helicopter on the way to Canberra Hospital. He was in intensive care for a month. It was just an absolutely horrific time.
He was always a little bit highly strung, actually, when he first arrived. He was always trying to do things a bit upside down.
He certainly has got a lot of his mother's attributes, stocky, muscly. We've found that our breed from the same mare that we started with, but they all seem to be late bloomers. Very few of them do well as a 2-year-olds.
He's not a great horse to relax, and I do think that, you know, after every run you're thinking, geez, I'd love to be a bit closer. I'd love to give him a squeeze out of the gates. But knowing the horse, how he was and how keen he was, we're always a bit reluctant to really burn him in that first furlong and really get him to go. You know, we're really pleased that we've been able to get him to relax and get him into the right races. It's all about that preparation and keeping the horse nice and relaxed and not using any excess energy, just conserving it for the race. Yeah, it's a combination of everything, you know, all the team at home basically, getting him relaxed at home in his work, firstly with the rider on, Mario rides in work, and getting him in the right frame of mind. And I think that's a big thing we've seen with each run, this preparation. He was a little bit nervous at Caulfield, he was a little bit better at Flemington, and he was perfect in the TJ mind-wise. So he's getting there. But it's a combination of everyone that puts a hand on the horse.
We go back to Blake's apprentice claiming days. He rode here actually. Blake had ridden for Rod Craig, who was our trainer at the time. And my wife enjoyed the way that Blake would explain about how the horses were when he got off them and so on, and spend a bit of time with us. And it just sort of produced a bond, and my wife Maria was more about going to the races and enjoying rather than being a thoroughbred purist, if you like. She was about the other side of racing, and she just wanted Blake on everything. Wouldn't matter what it was, can't we put Blake on? I've never ever asked Matt to put a rider on. It's always been Matt's decision, as it was Rod Craig's, except for the Warra.
And they're often racing south of India and Fleetwood at jump well from their wide draw track.
We've had a wonderful relationship with Blake. Over the years, he's ridden a lot of work for me, ridden a lot of winners for me. He's got a wonderful relationship with Reg and Marie, who bred the horse, and the other owners in the horse. He's a great guy. He knows the horse well. He won on him in the Warra.
Headwall fighting it out. Dragonstone the inside of Headwall. Headwall's driving, and Headwall won the Warra.
For me, Blake, Marie and Headwall, it's just a triangle of love. The Warra was a turning point for us and for Headwall. Marie suffered from motor neurone and passed away about a year before Headwall was entered in the Warra, so it was the pinnacle of his racing career to that point. Matt had Jason Collett on Headwall's previous start, 1,000 metres at Randwick. I thought about this, and I know that Marie had a real affection for the horse, and that Marie would have wanted Blake on. So I rang Matt, and to his credit, he didn't tell me to go away, Reg, leave it to me, I'm the boss. He listened to me, and he was good enough to explain to Jason that we wanted Blake on board this time. A lot of things fell into place. Marie's lucky number was 4, we drew number 4. Headwall dropped out last, came with a burst of speed down the outside against all the trend of the day, and one running away. And it just blew us away. The emotion was incredible. The tragedy is that only a couple of months later, Blake was riding down at Maruya and had a horrific fall, and he was in intensive care for a month. He was airlifted out of Maruya. He'd passed away twice in the helicopter on the way to Canberra Hospital. It was just an absolutely horrific time. So he probably will never ride again. And I was just glad that Blake got to ride Headwall in his first group win, because he will probably never ride him again, and that's a tragedy. But I'm so glad that he was able to at the Warra. It meant everything to us.
Yeah, like, it's disappointing to not have Blake aboard the horse, but in racing sometimes these twists and turns take place, and we've just got to take it the way it comes. And look, the most important thing is he's okay.
Well, Well, we've had some wonderful moments through racing, and Headwall has taken us to new heights. And, you know, to be offered a slot in the Quokka like this and to talk to such nice people that we were probably not going to go there the first offer. We thought after, you know, it would have been after the TJ. He's been to Melbourne twice this preparation and performed well. All going well, he'll start and he'll run really well in Perth. Almost without exception, every track rider, every barrier trial rider, every jockey that gets off him, it's just full of praise for the horse. I think the change with him is it's all been about temperament. I think he's always had that strength and ability, but it was never harnessed to any. It's harnessed now, and it's just great to see jockeys get off him and just sing his praises. So I still think he's on the way up, a bit like myself.
I think the Quokka's a great race for him, and he'll be hard to beat.
In one word, how would you describe him?
Not fast. Yeah, he's a quick horse. Yeah, no, he's. You know, if the race was 1,000 metres, I wouldn't be worried about it. But the Quokka, you know, like he's a very quick horse. He's always been the same way in his track work, and everything he does it quickly.
One word, probably a miracle. For all sorts of reasons, not just because of his ability, but in our personal life, Marie loved the horse. Yeah, so Marie loved the horse and I love Marie, so it's been a triangle of love.